Hey, John Martinez here with Midwest Revenue Group, and I'm on my way to lunch with my wife who is filming this, and I thought I'd take a few minutes to answer one of the biggest questions I get whenever we onboard a new client to our sales training and sales strategy stuff that we do with them. So one of the biggest questions we get, one of the biggest problems that sales teams have across the country by far is competing on price, right? It's always whenever I ask, hey, why are you losing deals? Or whenever you do lose deals, why? It's, well, the competitor was cheaper. And whenever we talk about objections and things like that, it always seems to come back to getting beat up on price and beat up on the, the numbers, the financials. So I want to do this quick video. I'm going to tell you exactly how not to do that, how to eliminate ever having to compete on price again, and how to eliminate really ever losing another deal based on price. Before I do that, though, I want to ask you a question or kind of share a story and have you work through this, because I think this example will really illustrate better than what I can what I mean by this tactic I'm about to give you. So if you were car shopping, right? And let's say you're car shopping and you're looking at SUVs or whatever. So maybe you're comparing a Ford Explorer and what's the equivalent of a Ford Explorer? A mid-size SUV. Let's just say it's a Honda Pilot, right? So maybe you're looking at the Explorer versus the Honda. They're basically going to be the same, right? So a major piece of this decision is going to be how much does each cost, right? If they're the same price, you might look at some different features and the ride and things like that. But if everything seems about the same, you're probably going to fall back on price because, hey, it's basically the same vehicle, right? Now you can, maybe a Pilot is better than an Explorer or vice versa. I really have no idea, but I think you get the point, right? So the decision is going to be made on price. But what if you were looking at a Ford Explorer versus a Lamborghini? Or a Ferrari, right? I like Ferraris, so let's say it's a Ferrari. Now, the Ferrari is going to be probably 10 times the price of an Explorer, but that decision is never going to be made on price, because when you look at an Explorer versus a Ferrari, yeah, they're both vehicles. They both get you from A to B, but they're totally different. Nobody looks at a Ford Explorer and Ferrari and go, well, it's basically the same thing, so I'll go with the cheaper one, right? You look at a Ferrari and you go, this is a freaking supercar. You look at an Explorer and go, this is a grocery getter, a nice grocery getter, right? But that's what it is. So it's two completely different things. You stop competing on price. So my point is this: if you want to stop competing on price, you have to make sure your product or service is viewed completely differently as your competitors. You have to be looked at like the supercar of whatever it is you're offering. So the question then becomes, how do you do that? How do you change how your prospect views you? And I'm going to tell you exactly how. The way to be viewed different is not in the actual product or service. I actually help sales teams who sell the exact same things as their competitors, but do it as twice the price. And when I'm training them, what we train them to do to be seen as a higher end solution is actually the sales conversation itself, the questions that they ask. And we teach to ask 3 different types of questions. And this is backed by science and neuroeconomics and behavioral psychology and behavioral economics and all that fun, crazy stuff. But I'm just going to give you the Cliff Notes version. You need to ask 3 types of questions. Mediocre salespeople ask 1 type of question. They ask problem questions. What problem? And maybe sometimes not even those, but hey, what am I here to solve? What's your problem, right? What can I help you with? What are you looking for? The salespeople, the elite salespeople who go above and beyond and get themselves and their products to be looked at as superior products and services, they ask 2 more types of questions: impact and picture perfect. So whereas a mediocre salesperson stops at, hey, what can I help you with? What problem are you trying to solve? The expert salesperson continues with, hey, I hear that problem. I get it. Why is that important to you? How does that impact you? How does that impact you financially, spiritually, how you spend your time, what you think about, what you stress about, others in your business, others in your family? What is that keeping you from being able to do? And then they go a step further and say, well, let's pretend you didn't have to deal with that problem or the impact of that problem anymore. Paint me the picture perfect scenario. You do this for 30 to 45 minutes, you are now looked at as an expert. This is the difference between being a doctor and being a specialist, right? Your family physician gets paid one amount, but you pay a heck of a lot more to go see a specialist. Why? Because they go deeper, they understand more. This is exactly what you accomplish with your question. So if you want to stop competing on price, if you want to be head and shoulders above your competition, even if you're selling the same thing, the way you do it is with your sales conversation. It has nothing to do with your product or service. If it's better, that helps, but it's problem, impact, and picture perfect questions. This is the number one thing we train on when we train sales teams across the nation. So you can do this yourself. No longer do you have to compete on price. So guys, I hope that helps. This is John Martinez with Midwest Revenue Group. Happy selling out there.